Yo, was good. So look, we need to talk about July because July is a period of time where we can really shift in ways that we really haven't before. And I was kind of being told about this like a few days ago, and then I was told to check the astrology. And when I did that, I was like, damn, astrologically, there are certain things happening which will allow us to shift in these different ways. So I'm going to mention the astrology. I'm also going to like mention what the energy is going to be like, what life on Earth will look like, and what lessons are important. And I'll also mention the astrology. So first, let me just give a base of what the shift in July is, right? Number one, people are going to be opened up to sides of themselves which they haven't really accessed before. People will also be connecting with their souls on a way deeper level than before. And many people will get crushed by life, while others are going to take the signs and lessons and use those signs and lessons to gear them into a new path. Because you will be getting crushed if you're not trying to switch up and align with the higher parts of yourself. Now, that's kind of basic, but let me actually explain the astrology and then get deeper to the overall energy, what life is going to look like, and the different things we kind of got to learn at that period of time. But let me start with the astrology first. So, I got to talk about Saturn, right? Because May 24th, right? Saturday, May 24th, Saturn's going to enter into Aries, right? Now, Saturn entering into Aries is going to make us structure our identity and structure our actions. So it can make us more disciplined with our actions, and it can also make us become more secure in our sense of self and who we truly are. Now, in July, things will get a bit wonky because July 13th, you have Saturn going retrograde in Aries. Now, when that happens, it's going to open is going to give us access to tap into old parts of our identity and also kind of recognize old actions which may have been keeping us stuck and restricted inside of our lives. Now, that's important because when that happens, many people may fall back into that old identity and fall back into those old actions, and then they may hold themselves back. But the whole point of that period of time is to actually be like, dang, I used to identify my I used to identify with myself in these ways and take these certain actions, and I see how these things are holding me back. Therefore, I'm gonna stop doing these things. That's the whole entire point. Now, that's gonna be happening all the way up until like September and November. Because with September, it's gonna get a bit different. Because with September, that retrograde is going to go back into Pisces. So September 1st, Saturn's going to retrograde back into Pisces, and that's going to also open you up to old unconscious thoughts and ideas which are holding you back. So different ideas and thoughts which you might have had super duper ingrained inside of yourself will be popping up again during September. And then that Saturn retrograde is going to end in Pisces November 27th, which is what is going to allow you to start structuring new beliefs and new thoughts with inside your unconscious mind. Now, it's like July is going to make you go through a whole lot of change that will eventually lead to new things eventually in November, right? For Saturn at least, right? But yeah, the whole thing with July is the fact that you'll be tapping into old identities which are super duper ingrained inside of yourself and accessing certain actions which you really ingrained deep inside of yourself. You feel me? And those things may have been holding you back. But now it's time to let go of those things. So it's like because your identity is huge. Because your identity literally leads to your identity. Your identity leads to the beliefs, the thoughts, the emotions, and the actions which you express inside your physical reality. And there's certain ways of identifying with ourselves which we had ingrained inside of ourselves for so long. So the fact that we're gonna have a period of time where that's kind of being uprooted and we could look at it and see how it's holding us back and then adapt a new identity, it's really going to be a big thing with the whole Saturn energy, right? But there's more with the astrology. Oh, actually, I'll say this too. February 13th, right, of 2026. That's where you're gonna actually have Saturn go back into Aries, which will help us structure a new identity. So overall with Saturn, right, this is allowing us to ingrain our new identity. But first we must look at the old identity and the old beliefs of that identity, which we have ingrained super deep into our unconscious mind. As we do this, we will be able to look at the different beliefs, identities, and actions which have kept us restricted for so long. Then we will be able to structure new beliefs and identities which actually liberate us and allow us to access higher parts of ourselves and life. Now we got the energy of Neptune because we have Neptune retrograding in Aries July 4th. So that's going to make us tap into our old beliefs about how we identify with ourselves, right? So once again, the whole entire identity stuff is popping up once again, right? So in the old those old okay, so when it comes to July 4th, right? When Neptune retrogrades in Aries and we start tapping into old beliefs about our identity, these old beliefs will partially be things that you're tapping into right now and also things from a few months ago from right now. So whenever you're seeing this video, right, which is going to be in May, right? The stuff that you tap into in July, the old stuff, will be certain beliefs and thoughts and ideas and identities which you've had right now in May and also a little bit before May too. So it's really important to, and I see why they alerted me of this right now because if you start to build helpful beliefs and identities right now and you ingrain like higher actions within inside of yourself, those things will pop up again in July. And then you could compare yourself to who you are right now to who you were a few months ago to who you are at that period of time in July, and then use all that information to pretty much ingrain the identity inside yourself fully of the higher character, not the lower one, which you could have been a few months ago or even right now. You feel me? So yeah, that's that. But then October 22nd, Neptune's going to retrograde into Pisces. So at that point, you'll be tapping into old, unconscious beliefs and ideas. Then December 10th, that's when it's going to end. You feel me? In Pisces. And then January 26th, Neptune will enter Aries, which will allow you to have new beliefs and unconscious thoughts about your identity. So overall, the Neptune energy, it allows you to develop new beliefs and unconscious thoughts about your identity by looking at old ones. You feel me? You look at the old ones and change them around to establish new thoughts, beliefs, and identities. You feel me? So once again, July is kind of what starts that period of actually changing the beliefs and the identities and the actions. You feel me? So the energy in July is really trying to uproot some of the old things which could have been ingrained inside of us for so long, and I really mean for so long. You feel me? But then you also have Uranus coming into play because July 7th, right? Uranus is going to enter to Gemini. That's going to make you reform your mind, ideas, and the way you communicate with yourself and other people. So you'll literally be changing. You'll be changing your mind. You'll be changing your thoughts. You'll be changing how you communicate and stuff like that. You feel me? And then it's actually going to link up with Mercury retrograde July 18th in Leo because you're going to be looking back at old thoughts about how you expressed yourself, about how you expressed old ideas and stuff like that, how you expressed old thoughts and stuff. So you'll be looking back about these. You'll be looking back on these things and then changing them up because Mercury retrograde in Leo kind of just makes you look back at old thoughts, right? Makes you look back at old thoughts that deal with how you express yourself and look back at the old thoughts which you used to express. And then with Uranus and Gemini, you actually reform all these thoughts and you reform your mind and all these things, you feel me? And also you know that July is Leo season, July 22nd, which is going to make you express more for your it's going to make you express your authentic self more. You feel me? Cuz Leo's all about expressing yourself, you feel me? And then at the same time, you're gonna have a new moon July 24th, right? Which um, is gonna make us kind of have new emotions that we may want to express in the outside world or just express to our inner self. So overall, this is going to allow us to look back at old thoughts and ideas about how we express ourselves. It's going to allow us to develop new thoughts and idea about how we express ourselves and express those new thoughts and ideas. You feel me? So a lot of stuff is dealing with transforming your thoughts, beliefs, identity, and also how you express that inside the world. You feel me? So yeah, but now we got to talk about other things like what's like the overall energy at that period of time. So number one is learning to kind of see beyond things in the physical right now, and this happens when we're actually able to quiet our mind and understand what's popping up inside of our mind, because the different things popping up inside of our mind is going to deal with these old beliefs, old ideas, old identities, old actions which have been holding us back. If we can actually quiet our mind and let these things pop up and analyze them, then we'll be able to see beyond our current situation and actually be able to look at who we're becoming in the future, because that's very important due to the fact that in July, although there's going to be crazy energy, you may not see it physically at first, but the energy that's popping up is what's going to slingshot you into the future. And if you can understand what's happening at that period of time, you can see beyond your current situation and then understand where you'll be in the future if you properly learn the lessons which you should be learning at that period of time. So, kind of adding on to that, this will also make you be able to become kind of like an oracle in the sense of you'll be able to tap into divine messages about the future, especially if you don't think that you're being delusional, especially because it's like as you tap into these new parts of yourself and new beliefs and let go of these old restricting actions and all these types of things, right? It's like you'll be manifesting the life that you're truly meant to live. And the thing is, the thing that actually structures your life is your spirit. And if you're tapping into your spirit way more, you're tapping into the author of your life, literally. So, whatever you see for yourself coming up is going to be as if you're just making it up, but technically you are as an eternal spirit though, and not as an ego character. You feel me? Because a lot of times we try to create stuff from the ego character and we can't do it. But if we are tapping into our spirit and we're following the script of our spirit, at that point we kind of are writing the script. And whatever we predict in the future, we didn't even predict it. We kind of just made that. But it's our spirit that did it, not our character. So in July, the energy will be a lot like peeping into the future and seeing what's to come in the future, because what's happening at that period of time is making the future. You feel me? And if you're aligning with your spirit at that period of time, you'll be creating a better future for yourself that's in alignment with your spirit. You feel me? So that's what that's kind of dealing with. Um, I had to check something real quick. I bet. Also, is this leads this is once again about the future stuff. As you tap into your possible future and what's to come and stuff like that, it'll also make you like a bit more passionate too. So like as you reflect on who you were in the past and as you think about who you're gonna be in the future, it can help you like unleash your passion and this will be like your true passion. That's aligned with your true self and real actions that you really want to take, not for no bullshit, but for some real nigga shit. You feel me? So that's like the energy, right? Now with that being said, at that period of time, what life is gonna look like is number one, overcoming certain boundaries and obstacles inside of your life. You feel me? Clearing up those things which have been holding you back for so long. That's what Saturn's kind of doing, along with the other planets too. You feel me? Um, Also things will kind of be like it'll kind of like there's more magic in your life. Like certain things might be mysterious, right? Because like I said, that period of time is what's going to launch you into the future. So the future didn't fully manifest there, but it's being manifested from that period of time. And that's kind of like it's gonna be like a lot of mystery there, because it's like you can't fully see what's to come, but you kind of feel the magic of it and how you're bringing that into creation. You feel me? It's like you're bringing things it's like you're currently bringing things, well, at that period of time you'll be bringing things into creation which you can't fully see yet, but you know it's there. So it's like this magical energy where like I'm magically creating this thing even if I can't see it right now. You feel me? And we'll be also learning a lot of lessons from the earth. You know, like earth, like living on earth is going to teach us a lot of living on earth will be teaching us a lot of things, especially at that period of time. And some of those lessons deal with number one, learning kind of how to stay calm and how to kind of keep yourself poised and how to kind of keep yourself like unwavering because you kind of understand why things happen, how they do. You kind of understand what's going on and why those things happen and why you got to change yourself and how to change yourself. You feel me? You also need to kind of understand when it's time to go, when it's time to leave certain things behind, and when it's time to start something new. And you'll also kind of need to learn about how to have deep knowings, even if they cause you to be isolated for a certain period of time. Because like you may know you gotta isolate yourself from your friends. You feel me? Like let's say like you're like yo, I gotta build this thing real quick, but I can't be distracted by my friends and stuff like that. You feel me? You can't fully see that if you isolate, it's going to actually pay off. But you could deeply know that if you isolate, it's going to pay off. So even if you got to isolate yourself or give up certain things, bro, you need to be able to actually have that deep knowing and understand that if you do this, it really is going to benefit you. You feel me? So kind of learning the lessons about why things are happening, when it's time to leave things behind, and when it's time to do new things, and learning how to have a deep knowing even without the true logical understanding or physical proof of it. Learning those lessons will help you to actually overcome these obstacles, tap into new parts of yourself, take new actions, ingrain new identities and stuff like that. Let go of old beliefs and stuff like that. Change your mind around, reform your mind, and express these higher parts of yourself within the physical plane. You feel me? So, with that being said, that's what July is going to bring us and stuff like that. July is a pretty dope period of time. We should prepare for it right now by really thinking about who we want to be right now, what we want to express in the future and stuff, what really makes us passionate and all these different things. If we tap into that, we'll have a great July. You feel me? So, with that being said, I'm gonna end the video right there. I love you. I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Peace the freak out.